Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Flick Geeks Presents. I'm your host Johnny D, and as always, when I here today, got a more podcast called Bras. So anyway, our final film we're going to be talking about today just got released today on October 11th, 2013, and it's from Filmbuff again, and the producers had the distribution agency. Yes, that's right. We're talking about Escape from Tomorrow. All in all, it is the horror movie that was illegally shot at the Walt Disney World and the Disneyland Resort. Directed by Randy Moore, and is starring a bunch of new people that I don't really remember their names. But I did see the movie. You didn't see the film, sadly. But you know a lot about the movie behind the scenes, correct?
The making of, which in itself is just as interesting as this movie, in my opinion.
Do tell, because I want to hear your thoughts, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the
Well,
movie.
this movie, what makes this movie different than any other Disney movie is because it's not really a Disney movie.
What?
It's set in Disneyland. Oh, but it's not really a Disney movie because Disney is wholesome. Disney, it's family friendly. There's nothing ever wrong with Disney. You see, the Disney company has a strong hold on their image. They don't like when people misstrue their image in any kind of negative or way that they do not approve.
Yeah.
Knowing that, the director basically wanted to make this film, and he knew well that Disney would never give him in no way any right to film on the Disney property, and because of the theme that this thing had. So him and his cast basically filmed this whole movie illegally by going to Disneyland and Disney World. So in the Disneyland park that appears in this movie, it's actually two parks, two different parks merged into one for your viewing pleasure. But the way they filmed this entire movie, they did it on the download. You know,
Down low?
down low,
You said down.
keeping it slow.
Keeping it slow.
But basically, all scripts were on their iPhones, so that way they would not be caught, flipping through scripts.
That was very, very smart.
So if anything, they just look like people checking their messages. It was recorded using cameras, but regular cameras, not like actual movie studio film reels like cameras.
I mean, supposedly they did shoot it with a Red One with the studio.
That was all in the studio shot.
Yeah, in a studio in LA.
But I'm talking about the on cameras that they use on the parks.
They used a Canon 5D Mark II,
which is a very simple commercial camera you can buy and set to video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they basically, that way it looks like, if anything, they were just like a family or tourists recording simple home video footage.
Supposedly they almost got caught once.
Yes, and that was because security thought they were trying to photograph a celebrity couple's like family outing or something. They thought they were paparazzi. But yeah, and in order to keep the security from catching on to them, they would constantly go from park to park. Sometimes they'll film in Universal.
Wow.
Sometimes they'll film at like Disneyland here in California. Sometimes they'll film over at Florida and go back and forth. A lot of season passes, a lot of freaking flyer miles.
Oh yeah.
But all in effort to make this film. Because it was filmed on location without permission, they didn't have time to do proper lighting, so the director would actually study the positioning of the sun that day and try to map out the shots using the sun. Like audio, for instance, would be recorded using and everything from iPhones to actually having like microphones hidden underneath things, and they will basically turn on the recording devices and leave them running throughout the day as they film all their scenes. So at the end of the day, they had like 8 hours of audio, when in reality, but only like an hour worth of usable audio.
Yeah.
And they would have to sit through the joy every day of listening through all 8 hours, trying to find that one line.
You know how much of a pain in the ass that is for a film editor?
And you know how much that is for audio itself? Someone edits the podcast over here and has to sit through a lot of audio garbage. But anyway, you can't flip anyone off using these fingers, man.
You really can't.
Disney editing at best.
Yeah, so they shot the film 45 days.
Yeah.
Exactly 45 days. Again, in LA in the studio and both the Disneyland, Disney World parks. And just for a technical note, the cinematographer Lucas Lee Graham, I thought he did a fantastic job actually shooting the film. It looked fantastic. They shot the whole film in black and white. It's not post production. They just turned the knob to black and white, and that was to the director and cinematographer, that was a really kind of a challenging task to shoot the whole film in black and white without any post-production conversions or anything.
You know why they did that, right?
Why did they do that, Carlos?
The reason why, some people was like, it's to be artful, to be tasteful. Well, that's actually a side effect of it. They didn't originally do that to be artful, to be tasteful, to be indie and hip.
Yeah.
They did that because they knew they weren't filming properly with proper lighting and with the whole thing. They would have a hard time doing color balance and color correction. So they realized it would be easier to film the footage in black and white because you only have two colors to deal with, black and white. Well, shades of gray, but which is just black
again,
and white, instead of having to deal with multiple colors. So, and then after they did that, when they realized that, there was no going back because it's like, once we do this, it's going to be black and white for the rest of it. But then, after seeing some of the dailies, the director basically saw what he saw, and he was like, you know what? It actually works a lot better being in black and white.
It gives it a very surreal, very
crazy,
crazy,
surrealistic noir kind of look to it.
I mean, the first 2 minutes of the movie, if you can see in the background, there's one shot of a guy getting decapitated off Big Thunder Railroad.
Right.
In a couple of seconds.
Yes.
Well, not a couple of seconds, but yeah.
It reminds me, like, the surrealism in here, it's so crazy. It reminds me of
this is the Swedish trailer.
It reminds me of Un Chien Andalou by Salvador Dali.
Yes.
1927 film. I'm going back old school.
You are going back old school.
Surrealism. It's that crazy kind of stuff. One of the things, the editing process was very interesting because, once again, we're worried about Disney getting their hands on this and saying you can't do this anymore. They edited the whole movie in fear that the Disney lawyers may stop them at the editing door in South Korea.
Yes, yeah. Actually, the post-production was in South Korea, so because just in case if Disney found out,
it's hard to. It was like it's better for them. I like to see them try to cross the ocean to come and get me.
I thought there'd be Disney lawyers in South Korea. Actually.
There's Disney lawyers everywhere.
The crew, the director, everybody that was involved in this film did a fantastic job in keeping this fucking movie a secret. And again, the editing in this movie was actually very well done too. And I mean, everything technical wise, it was fantastic. The only thing I had a complaint about technical wise is again when they were doing the LA shoots with the red camera, they actually rented out a green screen, like a green screen stage. So the whole room was a green screen stage. So there's a couple of scenes in the movie. You can obviously tell it's a green screen stage, but again, I don't blame. The effects were done in South Korea too, and it looked like it. It looked pretty low budget and whatnot, but I mean, they did what they can. I'll say that much.
End of the day, what would you rate this movie?
I rate this movie actually a 4 out of 5, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, again, it's a very bizarre movie. It's sci-fi. It's horror. For some reason, they bleep out the word Disney once, even though, like, all around, the park, you can hear Disney. You see, obviously, Mickey and Goofy and all the Disney characters are there. But, I mean, what are you doing?
Just reacting to the thing. Oh, no.
I mean,
Leaps.
I mean, there's like Disney princesses that sell their bodies as prostitutes. The turkey legs are not really turkey legs. There's some type of weird animal called noob, I think it's called. And
I love those turkey legs so much. I've eaten so many noobs.
and it's just so bizarre, but I mean, you definitely need to see it to believe it. It's without doubt, like everybody says, the film will never be made again, and it's a very unique film for that matter. It's without a very unique movie.
So, catch this movie before the Disney executives take it down.
Actually, the Disney executives are not going to sue them. They're not going to sue this movie because they don't want any publicity. They don't want this film to have free publicity or anything. So Disney thought it's a good idea for some fucking reason that they are not going to press charges on this movie because they say this has only happened once in this whole entire life of Disney. May it never happen again.
Yep. You know what?
Until our film comes out. Better watch out, Disney.
Behind the mouse curtain.
Yeah.
Yes.
But all in all, scale to 1 to 5, definitely a 4 out of 5.
The Mickey Autopsy movie.
I got nothing. Okay, so basically,
What really happens behind the curtain of the mouse?
this movie comes out October 11th, which is today. Like I said, it comes out in theaters in 32 or 36 selected cities worldwide. In the U.S. Sorry, and also if it's not playing in your local cinema, go get it. It's playing on video on demand, iTunes, PS3, every single digital platform out there. You can actually watch Escape from Tomorrow if you don't want to pay like $10 in the movie theaters. You can pay $6 while watch it digitally. Anyway, so that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Flick Geeks Presents. Until then, next week we're going to be reviewing Electric Man, which is a British import, again from Filmbuff Entertainment, and that'll do it. Follow us on Flick Geeks, Instagram and Twitter @Flick Geeks, Facebook.com/FlickGeeks, FlickGeeks.tumblr.com. And finally, I think that's it. That's all the internet things, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so until next time, guys, Johnny D.
Carlos Ross.
Don't eat the turkey legs.
I love the turkey legs.
Don't eat the turkey legs, dude.
So many noobs.
So many fucking noobs.